And we are live. What is up, everyone? Welcome on in. Happy Wednesday. I know, surprisingly, I'm online on a Wednesday.
Dash backseats with show your badge.
Yo, Dash, what's up? How are you doing? Welcome on in. So yeah, apologies. I wasn't able to stream for the past 2 days. Last Monday I was unwell. Then yesterday I had family stuff. So yeah, I am streaming tonight, and I will be streaming tomorrow as well. And yeah, we'll be doing Ace Attorney for these 2 days. Alright, where are we? So yeah, we are in case 3 of Spirit of Justice. We are in the trial phase of the game now. And as always, this looks familiar. Yes, Maya is on the stand again. Double dose. Wait, why am I in slow mode? Am I in slow mode? Or is it just... I think this did not refresh. Okay, alright. Alright. Okay, I was wondering why in my chat view window it's on shield mode and it's in slow mode. I know Seribot should have disabled that. Anyway. Alright, let's get right into it. Right after about day 1 trial. Let's go. Alright, so how's everyone? Hope everyone's doing well. Right, let's see if I can still remember how to voice these people, even though I have no, like, discernible voices for these people. Alright, May 11th, 9:40 a.m. High Court of Kurain. Accused lobby. Wasn't able to find any conclusive evidence yesterday. But if I can figure out Lady Kira's motive for threatening the High Priest, then maybe... Nick, today well... Don't look so down, Maya. I'm going to defend you with everything I've got. You would do well to seize this insanity while you still can. This is like Cigar Guy. Oh no, it's her benevolence. As I said yesterday, I'm going to defend my... I didn't know that. That's not her benevolence. As I said yesterday, I'm going to defend my client in court. Well, know this. You shall not witness a miracle of that sort and that occurred last time. The moment she is found guilty, you too will be found guilty of abetting the accused. I never claimed to be a miracle maker, but I am good at discovering the truth. And unlike miracles, the truth is always waiting to be found. The truth, you say? Then it seems you have chosen your fate. This shall be your very last trial. Nick. I'm going to prove you innocent, Maya. You'll see. After all, you have to introduce the Plum Punisher, warrior of Neo Twilight Realm, to the folks back home, right? Right. I may be a defendant this time, but I'll be by your side like always, Nick. Thanks, Maya. This place is tough on lawyers. I'll need all the help I can get. Plus, it's always good to have you on the team. Well, it's time. Let's go. Let's go. May 11th, High Court of Kurain. Court is now in session. Oh, it's like Sadmadi. All rise. Let the trial of Maya Fey begin. The defense is ready, Your Majesty. Huh? Quiet! Can't you see Prosecutor Sadmadi is absorbed in silent prayer? Great. The trial's barely started and the judge is already mad at me. He's very devout for a prosecutor. Why is the accused standing over there? Oh, well... Your Majesty. In addition to being the accused, she's also my assistant. The accused is your assistant, you say? Very well then. A criminal does indeed make a fitting partner to a lawyer with a defiled soul. That wasn't very nice. Oh my god, her like animation. Yeah, well, bad-mouthing lawyer seems to be a custom of sorts here in Khura'in. I must say, I am surprised to see you still here in Khura'in, Mr. Wright. And even more so to find you in the Hall of Justice once more. I cannot fathom why you would willingly risk your life in yet another trial. The answer is simple, Your Majesty. I am a lawyer, and this is what lawyers do. Although, to be frank, I'd rather be anywhere but here right now. Such foolishness. Ah, Prosecutor Sadmadi, are you ready to begin now? Yes, Your Majesty. The prosecution is ready. Let us begin without further delay. But first, I promise you both this. I will cast your wicked souls into the fires of hell. Thus shall the soul of the victim attain salvation. Ha 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 ha. Splendid. I would expect nothing less of you, Prosecutor Sadmadi. I think I'll pass on that whole fire and brimstone deal. But I'm not surprised by your words or stance considering what Apollos told me about you. So, it was you who instilled that putrid lawyerly guile within him. Putrid? What? He too must soon face the fires, lest his soul be lost to redemption. But I shall send you on ahead so that he will not be lonely when he arrives. Sorry, but I'm afraid it won't be that easy. People say I never know when to give up. Yo, hi, Georgie, what's up? Objection! Welcome on in, how are you doing? Nervous, Maya? A little. Feels like it's been ages since we stood side by side like this in court. It has. Too bad I'm the defendant. Don't worry. It's because it's been like that for a while as well. We haven't lost a case together yet. Trying to sleep, no luck. What time is it there for you right now, Georgie? Now then. So you're lurking. Hey, no worries, Georgie. Thanks for the lurk. So, yep. 508. Alright, so I think you're central, maybe? Or mountain, if you're in the US. Alright, now then, Prosecutor Sadmadi, would you please explain the case at hand? Of course, Your Majesty. Right on, yeah. Because usually my basis would be Eastern. If it's, I think, daylight or not daylight, where me and Eastern are exactly 12 hours apart. So if it's 7 p.m. here, it's like 7 a.m. there. If it's not daylight savings, or I think it is daylight savings, it's gonna be 13 hours, so it's gonna be 6 a.m. there, I think. Yeah, that's the case. But then, and then I just like adjust for each of the time zones to Mountain, Central, and Pacific. All right. Of course, Her Majesty. Let us begin the last rites of the victim. Mai Fei has been charged with the crime of murder. The victim of her heinous crime was High Priest Tarust Inmi. He was conducting the purification rite when he was brutally slain. And the cause of death? Let us review the victim's autopsy report and the crime scene photo, shall we? The cause of death was blood loss from a stab wound delivered to the abdomen. The murder weapon was likely the Warbad dagger, which was used in the rite. However, the weapon has yet to be found, though the scene was thoroughly searched. A sacred relic used as a tool for murder? The Holy Mother's wrath shall be most severe. The murder itself took place at the height of the purification rite. The accused had donned Lady Kira's sacred robes, and the victim was there to offer prayers as a high priest of Kurainism. Oh. Alright. During the rite, the victim and accused were the only two at the inner sanctum. Therefore, the only person who could have slain the victim is Maya Fey. I must say, that does cast a great deal of suspicion upon the accused. Indeed. Now then, allow me to submit this diagram of the crime scene as evidence in this case. Inner Sanctum diagram. Added to the court record. A diagram of the scene of the High Priest's murder. It shows where the lanterns and the Warbad statue are. In Kurainism, slaying a priest is a sin most grave and dreadful. As such, Maya Fey's soul shall be plunged into the lowest level of hell, the hell of tickling. There she shall be tickled without end for 500 million years. Why do I find that funny? That is a terrible fate indeed. Would the defense care to respond? And here I thought the lowest level of hell was the hell of back pain. I don't remember killing anyone, and I don't have that dagger or anything like it. As my client stated, she has no memory of the event as described by the prosecution. But more importantly, she had no motive to kill the High Priest in the first place.
Objection.
I thought you might say that. Nevertheless, the meaningless prattle of lawyers is utterly ineffectual here in the Hall of Justice. For all will be made clear by her benevolence, Refa Padma Kuraian's insights. So it is, and so it shall be. The divination seance reveals the truth for all to see. Here we go again. Bailiff, please show in the royal priestess. Oh, how beautiful her benevolence looks today. As popular as ever, I see. Rest assured, good people of Khura'in, I will defeat this murderer and her abettor. They shall not escape on their freedom expressed today. What a joy it is to have the royal priestess back in the Hall of Justice. May the Holy Mother grant us her divine favor. Urdihara Khura'in. She sure looks pleased with herself, especially for someone who didn't know what a Freedom Express was until yesterday. Is there something stuck to my face, barbed head? No, nothing, your benevolence. Now then, your benevolence, the divination seance, if you please. Very well. Nena, my robe.
O Holy Mother, we hold this divination seance in your name. Let the eyes of everyone here be clear, and our ears be unstopped. O dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me, so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
Pasta. Yes, Aniv. Will she be dancing again? Of course, I won't skip this scene. Oh, holy crap. Wait. G-Money, did you change your name? Yeah, you changed your name. Hi. I thought you were someone new. Anyway, welcome on in. How are you doing? I'm not gonna skip this because this is so well animated. Might have said first time chatter. Yeah, you're right, but who knows, you might have like appeared here ages ago, but I just didn't realize. Alright, Divination Seance time. Yo, Annual, what's up? Welcome on in. Okay. So you're reading something. Wind. Incense, footsteps, pain. That is so bad. The victim's Mitama has spoken. The divination seance is complete. Great, another clearly incriminating seance vision. Could not be any clearer, O foul defense. The accused donned the sacred robes of Lady Kira and then attacked the victim. Oh, how very terrible it must have been. The figure of Lady Kira lit against the dim lantern light. The scent of incense growing ever more potent as she drew near. One can almost sense the horror Abbot in me must have felt. The facts are as presented by her benevolence are indisputable. But that wasn't me. Do something, Nick. I'm working on it. That couldn't have been any clearer. Looks like I'm in for another uphill battle. The accused committed this vile act during our ancient tradition, the Purification Rite. Come to think of it, the Rites Guide explains the multi-part Purification Rite in detail. Alright. Now to read this again. Alright, High Priest staging area, Priestess. The Purification part is a 3-part ceremony held when the moon is directly over the summit of Mount Poniponi. It begins with the Transformation Rite where the High Priest reads scripture while a priestess dons the robe of Lady Kira which have been purified with incense. Next is the rites of water in which the priestess enters the spring dressed as Lady Kira and the High Priest purifies both Lady Kira and her dagger. Okay, I don't know if that happened. The ceremony ends with the rite of fire in which the priestess circles the sacred flames to purify her soul. The two then devote themselves to a prayer until the rite comes to a close 2 days later at noontime. So basically the whole thing's a fancy way for Lady Kira to take a bath once a year. Must be nice to be her. Haha. Needs to go fishing. Well, there was a pool there, so there might be fish. Alright. The Transformation Rite. The High Priest reads scripture while a priestess dons the robes of Lady Kira. The Rite of Water. Lady Kira enters the spring and the High Priest purifies her along with her dagger. The Rite of Fire. The priestess circles the sacred flames to purify her soul. Indeed. It would seem that the murder occurred during the Transformation Rite. The rite dictates that the High Priest stand in front of the spring. Therefore, the accused must have attacked him from the direction of the broken lantern. Well, Barbed Head, would you care to object? Of course, because I know my client is innocent. So you say, you truly do not know when you are beaten, do you? Managed to pull it off last time with Albi, I'll just have to do it again. You intend to find fault with her benevolence's insights yet again? It would seem lawyers are Polkunan creatures indeed. Indeed. What exactly is a Polkunan? Someone who's a real piece of work, so to speak. They can call me anything they want. The only thing I care about is uncovering the truth. So, Barbed Head, are you foolish enough to risk your life for your so-called truth? Because my insights are the truth. To deny them is to willingly dig your own grave. Reva's insight. The victim commenced the purification rite by bowing to the lanterns and reading a sutra. As the first part, the transformation rite, ended, he lowered the sutra. Suddenly, he heard the accused's approaching footsteps and smelled her incense-laden robes. It was then that the victim felt an intense pain. I believe this is when he was stabbed. As his lifeblood spilled over, his vision dimmed till finally he passed from our world. That is everything the victim experienced in his final moments. Inner Sanctum diagram updated in the court record. Alright, let's check the update because... Okay, dressed in the sacred robes of Lady Kira, the accused rushed the victim head-on. The brutal stabbing she perpetrated could not have been any clearer. Yes, it is plain for all to see. No, it wasn't me. Alright, wait. I'm just curious because... because the bird is also covered in blood. If the stab was from the front, why was the bird covered in blood? Right? A sudden drowsiness came over me during the transformation rite. I didn't even get the chance to put on Lady Kira's robes. You waste your time with such meaningless statements, accused. You cannot explain away the truths revealed by the royal priestess's divine insight. Oh. How did you end up finding contradictions last time? The deceased's final memories include all 5 senses. Oh, you mean those words that appeared in the pool of souls? It looked to me like the bigger the word, the stronger the sensation was to the victim. Yeah, that's how it looked to me too. The sensations themselves are never wrong, only their interpretations. That's why I tried to point out mistakes in Reva's insights the last time. So there could be contradictions between what Abbott and me felt and her insights saw. You got it, and I'm going to find them this time too. Should I check out to point out contradictions in Reva's insights? Yeah, I need a refresher. I can switch between insights with L and L, while I look for inconsistencies between them and the sensations in the vision. Seance visions can be paused with B. I can even jump to different points in the Seance's vision using A and Y. When I see an insight that doesn't seem right, I should select X. Then all I have to do is point out the sensation that contradicts with the insight. The sensations this time seem to fluctuate more than the ones from Albi's trial, in which case I'd better keep an eye on changes in their intensity too. Alright, save scum time. Alright, a victim bowing to the lanterns and reading the sutra. At the first part, the transformation rite ended. He lowered the sutra. Suddenly, He heard the accused's approaching footsteps and smelled her incense-laden robes. Wait. Okay, that was the first. There was a lantern there. There was a lantern there. So we read that. Okay. Yeah. It said accused approaching footsteps, although the footsteps were like constant and the incense was the one like getting stronger. No.
Objection!
The victim supposedly heard the accused's approaching footsteps, but did he really? What nonsense is this? Is it not abundantly clear? No, it's not. Because there is something strange about those footsteps. Strange? Explain yourself, Barbed Head. The footsteps are strange because they don't get louder. They're not getting any louder. And what exactly does that matter? Please focus your attention on the incense the victim smelled. The scent grows stronger as the accused approaches. If the accused really had approached the victim, the sound of her footsteps would have grown louder as the scent of incense grew stronger. Ah! Why, that makes perfect sense. How can this be explained, Your Benevolence? Well, there must be a reason.
Objection!
It is as they say, even a putrid worm of a lawyer will turn. What does that even mean? He likes the word putrid. He's not exactly singing your praises, that's for sure. Still, we cannot discount this information solely on the account of its lawyerly source. Your Benevolence, perhaps you must listen more carefully to the abbot's mitama. Listen more carefully? What's he talking about? Yes, it would appear so. I shall try to refine the sensation. Refine the sensation? I can more accurately gauge sensations by deepening my communication with the mitama. I didn't know you could do that. Why have we never done this before? By refining a sensation, a clearer picture of the truth can be discovered. Oh, blessed Mitama, I beseech you, hear me now and respond to my call. Bells, alright. Footsteps changed into bells. What could this mean? Bells, but the only bells at the scene of the crime were... Ah, that jingling must have come from Abbott Inme's bells. You mean those big things he had on his ankles? Well, there you have it. The sound of bells was from the High Priest's own footsteps. Then that means... If the footsteps belonged to the victim himself, it means it was the victim who was moving, not the accused. The victim was the one who went running toward the broken lantern from the spring. A far cry from what her benevolence's insight would have us believe. Alright, so this was changed then. Alright, okay, yeah, and like, the last vision was... Trust saw the broken lantern. Maybe he was trying to defend himself. Please explain. He could have felt threatened by Lady Kira standing there with a dagger. If so, he might have thought to overpower her before she attacked. Still your voices. This is nothing but a theory, and a poor one at that. Be not led astray by this lawyer's obvious postulation.
Objection.
While his insolence is inexcusable, I would ask that you calm yourself, Your Benevolence. Is there something you would care to say, Prosecutor Sadmadi? Even if it was Abbott Inme who moved, it does not negate the accused's crime. What do you mean? The accused was likely waiting for the High Priest to approach. And as he neared, she plunged the dagger into him. It is as simple as that. Oh, right. It really doesn't change much, does it? Yes, it is as the prosecutor has said. In fact, it is as I meant to say all along as well. Right, and that's why you were so shocked when you first heard it. Understand now, lawyer, that contradiction you conjured up has come to naught. Once I hone my insights, it will vanish like the dying rays of the sun. Insight revised. He rushed the accused and tried to fight her off by the broken lantern. See? The fact that it was Abbott Inme who moved changes nothing. It does. Then there should have been like blood stains on the center area. That contradiction I pointed out must mean something. That one sensation changed after Princess Rayfa refined her vision. It stands to reason that something else might have changed too because of the refinement. I should focus on any sensations that have changed, while searching for more contradictions between them and her insights. Okay. The first part... Alright. Yeah, there was shoveled blood here. I mean, there was shoveled snow. Okay, wait. Okay. Okay, so yeah, if he was like moving towards Maya, he shouldn't have felt water, right?
Objection!
Hold it. How do we know the purification rite was performed exactly as it was supposed to be? That's easy. The customs governing the rite are very clear, and Abbot Emmy would have adhered to them. Well, that's strange. Mr. Wright, would you care to explain just what is so strange? Yes, I would ask you to consider the sound of the victim's footsteps. The sound of bells changes to the sound of water at one point. What's this? It's simple. The victim must have stepped in some water. Oh. Yes, and the only source of water in the inner sanctum is the spring. And therein lies the contradiction. What contradiction? I believe the rite started out as it should have. The victim stood with his back to the spring and the accused stood right in front of him. But we now know that the victim then moved into the spring. Polkunka, that is absurd. This means the accused location differs from what her benevolence's insight indicates. Ah! Then, where do you propose the accused stood once she donned Lady Kira's robes? Okay, wait. Okay, no, she must be at the spring then. Because there were like 2 lanterns that were intact. So either it was here or here, right? Save scum. I know I still have like 5 slots, but whatevs. Until this moment, we've all just assumed that Abbot and me and Miss Faye were standing where they were supposed to be, as shown in this rights guide. In short, the victim should have been standing with his back to the spring and the accused in front. However, if that is how they were really standing, he couldn't have stepped into the spring as he approached her. The problem is, the victim did step into the spring. This can only mean that Miss Faye had actually been standing in the water. But if this is true, then their positions would have been completely reversed. What is going on here, Miss Faye? Were you really standing in the spring? I'm sorry, but I barely remember anything about the rite. Be that as it may, this does not overturn my insights. It doesn't? Let us say the accused was standing in the spring. So what? So what? This completely reverses their positions is what? That their positions differed from what is customary is rather curious. However, what does that change? It certainly does not erase the accused's brutal crime. I guess you have a point there. You lawyers are an absurd breed. Never thinking ahead, you cling to the first insignificant contradiction you can muster. Sounds like Princess Rifa has a pretty good grasp on what lawyers are all about. Oh my, where would I be without your brutally frank commentary right now? Can you please channel Mia? Is this contradiction really meaningless? But something really doesn't feel right. Did I take a wrong turn somewhere? I will now amend my insight to account for this new truth. He rushed the accused and tried to fight her off by the poolside lantern. Oh shoot. Now the contradiction is no more. But the truth of the matter still stands, no matter how stubbornly you deny it. What do you have to say for yourself now, Mr. Wright? Nick! Your Majesty, this lawyer may have raised a trivial objection. But her benevolence's insights have no further inadequacies of any kind. Yes, so it would seem. Wait a second, but there is another contradiction. Still, you flounder about, wretched beast. Though you rack that putrid brain of yours, nothing worthwhile will come of it. Maya, please tell me you remember something that might help us out there. Sorry, I really don't remember a thing. But now that the place I was standing in has changed, who knows? That alone may cause a new discrepancy with Princess Rifa's insights. That's right. We now know that Mai was standing in the spring. A major change like that could very well produce a contradiction. I should take another look at the inner sanctum diagram in the court record, and confirm where Mai and Abbot and me were standing, and then focus on finding any discrepancies between their positions and the insights. Okay. All right. Here's what I'm thinking. So if this is what was initially seen, Inmi did bow down first into two lanterns that were not broken. However, once like the scroll was put down, he saw the broken lantern. So what I was thinking was he might have turned around at some point. And then Lady Kiros actually there. Because alright, look here. So if this was facing like the spring, that's not broken. That's not broken. He brings up the scroll. And then he brings that down. There, wind.
Objection!
I'm wrong. Ah, shit. Okay, Springside Lantern. So I think I should like point out the He rushed the accused and tried to fight her off by the Springside Lantern. But this is not the Springside Lantern, so...
Objection!
Okay, thank you. Your benevolence, I found a new contradiction. You did? No doubt it is but another of your vile attempts to slander my insights. Nope. Take a good look at what the victim saw. It just might change your mind. The lantern flame behind the accused was flickering. There's nothing unusual about that, especially as the wind had stirred. No, that's where you're wrong. If the accused had been standing in the spring, then what you see here should be one of the lanterns flanking the statue. I fail to see your point. My point is, something is wrong here. The two lanterns flanking the statue were both outfitted with glassed wind guards. So neither lantern's flame should have been flickering in the wind in the first place. Heh. She seems pretty tickled, Nick. I don't remember saying anything funny. I fail to see what you wish to prove here, but... Very well. I shall refine the vision and reveal the truth for all to see. O blessed Mitama, I beseech you, fix your sight upon the lantern here there. Huh? That lantern doesn't have a wind guard on it. Doesn't have a wind guard on it. And rightly so. For the wind guard was removed to reveal the sacred flame within for the rite of fire. Therefore, there is nothing odd about the flame flickering. Say what? But when we searched the crime scene, those lanterns had their wind guards on. That's because the police put them back on. The sacred flames have burned uninterrupted for hundreds of years, Defense. We could not risk them being extinguished even during an investigation. That would never fly back home. Well, Barbed Head, are you done quibbling? If so, then it is time to bow down before this testimony of the Mitama. Nick! Don't worry, Maya, I'm just getting started. Alright, let's go over everything we know so far. Maya was wearing Lady Kira's robes and standing in the spring. The High Priest is thought to have been moving towards her. So I should look for sensations that stand in contradiction to this arrangement. I won't give up. I'm going to find a contradiction that will undermine the accusation against Maya. Okay, that didn't have guard. That had a guard. That's... Oh, wait. That's the broken one, right? So that brings us back to the original positioning. Then suddenly that was a fixed lantern. Because okay, this is definitely where
Objection!
damn it. Oh my god, I should really save before like all right. Okay, that's not broken. This is definitely the contradiction because that's the broken lantern. He rushed the accused and tried to fight her off by the Springside lantern. Because I think this is what I should like be contradicting to the site of this one. Right?
Objection!
Thank you. My god, why am I like contradicting the wrong things? Yo, Coburn, what's up? Eh, no worries. How the heck did you miss the go live notification? I'm sorry. Yeah, I really don't stream on Wednesdays, but since I was off the past 2 days, I might as well stream today than do my usual stream tomorrow. How are you doing? Welcome on in. What could this possibly mean? That lantern clearly contradicts the insight. But this contradiction will overturn the entire case I've been building. Are you alright, Mr. Wright? 1 minute you shout out, and in the next you fall silent. All good, glad to see you back online. Yeah, thank you. Glad to see you too here, Coburn. Perhaps it is like the bellow of one who is barreling down a hill with no way of stopping. Is that not right, Prosecutor Sadmadi? Don't get cold feet now, Phoenix. Even if this overturns the entire case you're built so far, the only way is to keep moving forward, because that's where we'll find the truth. Sorry, but I'm not barreling down a hill. In fact, I'm in full control of everything with the indisputable contradiction I found. Doing good in good spirits. Are we in a different case? No, this is still the case wherein Mai was accused. We're in the trial part now. And we're in the divination seance. Is that so? The lantern behind the accused clearly, no, blatantly contradicts your insight. Does it now? One of the lanterns on the entrance side of the inner sanctum was broken. And if you watch what Abbott and me saw in his final moments, you will notice that the lantern behind the praying form of Miss Faye is broken. The lantern behind Lady Kira, however, is still intact. In short, we are seeing two different lanterns in this seance vision. How could this be? And even if it were so, how would that contradict my insights? By the way, ads will be starting in a bit, so I am sorry for that. If you don't want ads, go get Turbo, or you can sub if you want to enjoy the emotes and memotes. Otherwise, you can go to YouTube where we're simulcasting right now. Let me start by saying the claim I'm about to raise will overturn the case I've built thus far. Will the defense please explain himself? Based on the Broken Lantern, we can tell Maya and Abbott in these positions, where the accused and the victim were standing. But did you not just finish asserting that the accused were standing somewhere else? I did, and I built my argument on that faulty premise. But thankfully, it has led us here, to the actual spot where Maya Fey was standing. I must say, if the defense keeps changing its assertions in such a capricious manner, its credibility may come into question. I'm willing to take that risk, Your Majesty, because I believe this will be the last time. I'd like to start by pointing out the actual spot where the accused was standing. Very well. Show us where you now believe the accused was actually standing. Based on the location of the Broken Lantern, where was Maya really standing? So she was actually right here.
Take that!
I wasn't thinking straight before, but now it's all falling into place. We know the victim had stepped into the spring. That means Maya Fey had to have been standing in the water as he approached. However, his memory, which has only now become clear, reveals that Miss Fey was standing by the side of the Broken Lantern. In other words, she was standing where she was supposed to be according to custom. Hold it! Does that not bring us back to the very beginning? No. This is where things take a different turn, and I mean that literally. The victim had to have been moving toward the spring. That means that while he was moving, he had his back turned towards the accused. What's this? Do you mean to say the victim turned around during the rite? But such an image appears nowhere in the Saiyan's vision. Actually, it does appear. It's just that no one noticed until now. No one noticed? How could no one have noticed something so big? Yeah, because he had that scroll in front of his face the whole time. There was a moment when the scripture the victim was holding was all we could see. Thanks to that, none of us could tell that he was in fact turning around in that moment.
Objection!
If it is as the defense asserts, then her benevolence's insights no longer make sense. How do you intend to explain that?
Objection!
I don't need to explain anything because it's just as you said, Prosecutor Sadmadi. Her benevolence's insights don't make any sense because they contain a huge error. Such insolence. Please put the great Skittles away.
Coburn64 backseats with, Sir, please put the grape Skittles away.
Yes, please. A huge error, you say. Do explain. The huge error is the order of the rights. There was a third person. Save scum. I believe this is what happened at the scene of the crime. The victim was reading a sutra when he sensed someone behind him. He immediately looked back to see someone dressed as Lady Kira standing there. Wishing to see who it was, he approached the robed figure. That's when he was stabbed. Oh. This cannot be. Oh, but it can, and it is. The insight stating the accused stabbed the victim is wrong. And that is the real truth lying behind this testimony of the dead. Holkong ka! Are you suggesting that there was someone else at the scene of the crime? Have I misunderstood the voice of the Mitama yet again? This cannot be. Phew, that was a close one. She dead. I know, this is a tier 3 emote, but... But I managed to divine the true meaning behind the Saiyans' vision somehow. I should add these new facts to the court record. Your benevolence, please allow me to take it from here. I'll overturn the brash accusations of this faithless, putrid-minded lawyer. He really likes the word putrid. Yes, I shall place my trust in you. Aww. Don't go, your benevolence. Now shall we have a witness? Are you sure about this, Prosecutor Sadmadi? My work as an international prosecutor has taken me to courtrooms around the world. And in that time, I have learned to perform last rites for souls in trials lacking a seance. Yes, of course. Forgive my ludicrous inquiry. Moreover, I have with me a forensic investigator from overseas. I will show you all the most magnificent last rites ever seen. I guess he really does think highly of Emma and her forensic expertise. I'm impressed that he's come to understand their value. Then again, he is an international prosecutor who solved tough cases around the world. Time to hunker down, huh? Now then, let us continue with today's proceedings. Could the defense please tell us who the third party dressed as Lady Kira was? Your new claim has negated the insights of the royal priestess. So I trust you have some evidence to support it, correct? Yes, of course. This third party must have really wanted to kill the High Priest. I might be able to identify who it was if I had evidence of their murderous intent. Well, we're waiting, Mr. Wright. The evidence that can reveal the identity of the third party is this. It's the letter.
Take that!
3 days before the purification rite, the victim received a warning letter from an unidentified individual. He did? Whoever sent it clearly meant to threaten the High Priest. The letter said, "Do not perform the rite." But the rite went on as scheduled. I believe that is why the High Priest was murdered. Who do you suppose sent that letter? A person with something to hide, the rebel hunter disguised as Lady Kira herself. Peace. I don't understand. I had heard the Lady Kira that has been in the news of late only hunted rebels. If so, why would she have killed the High Priest? Excellent question. Maybe it would help to think of it this way. What if the High Priest had secretly been a rebel? The High Priest? He couldn't possibly have been a rebel. The High Priest, a devout follower of Kurainism, a rebel? Do you even comprehend the blasphemy of which you speak? Well, do you? I too found it hard to believe at first. But as I continued my investigation, it started to become more and more plausible. The third party was the rebel hunting Lady Kira, and the High Priest was a rebel? Skittles, your mockery of Kurainism, no. Of the kingdom of Kurain itself knows no bounds. Oops. As a faithful Kurainist, I take issue with these claims, and I am loath to admit them in today's proceedings. I don't like where this is going. The defendant's claims are but vile blasphemy tantamount to spitting on the Holy Mother. Is it really that big of a deal, Maya? Abbot Inmi was a distinguished monk and very well respected too, so yeah. Please don't let this turn into an international incident. But fear not, good people of Khurain. The rantings of this putrid-brained lawyer who seeks to sully the soul of the deceased shall come to no avail once I've concluded these last rites. The prosecution's assertion that the accused killed the victim remains unchanged. But the victim was stabbed in his abdomen. How is it that possible when he had his back turned towards Miss Faye? Someone else must have killed him.
Objection.
Are you sure about that? You may have invalidated the seance, but do not let it go to your putrid head. The karmic flow of this trial is, as yet, still in my hands. How can he be so confident? Something has occurred to me, you see. And your allegations of a third party are but a deluded fantasy. And I shall prove that by calling a new witness to the stand. An eyewitness who will deliver a definitive answer that will dispel the defense's doubts. An eyewitness? Very well, let us call this eyewitness to the stand. Oh, it's you. It's him again. Well now, he has to be the shaggiest witness I have ever laid eyes upon. Please state your name and occupation. Oh, I'm... You know, that so-and-so, whatchamacallit. It's morphin' time! Anonymous TBD. Why are the name puns here in Khurain so like one of the worst offenders in the series? Well, at least that's what they've called me. TBD as in to be determined? Can't you just tell us your real name? The witness has suffered a blow to the head, rendering him amnesiac. Therefore, I named him Anon Imus TBD in my report, but he thinks TBD is part of his name. That name reminds me of something from Assassin's Creed.
Objection!
You're letting an amnesiac testify? Have no fear, I have already questioned him at length. While it is true he has utterly forgotten his name and past, his memory of what he witnessed is still very much intact. Considering the dearth of information, any new knowledge may be of help. Therefore, I will permit his testimony. Now, Mr. Imus, please tell us what you saw. The night of the murder. That night, I was up at the top of Mount Pony Pony, the mountain next to the inner sanctum. I hate crowds, so I climbed up there to pray in peace. I know it's a no-no, but since there was no one around, I used my binoculars to spy on the right at the inner sanctum. That's when I saw the accused stab the high priest with a dagger. There's no way you saw Miss Faye stab the victim with a dagger. I swear I don't know what he's talking about, or don't remember at any rate. Mount Pony Pony, the beautiful mountain that is also known as the Little Sanctum? Okay, how could you have seen that? That's like lower than the inner sanctum. And if you like saw that with binoculars, the curtains would have been like blocking that, right? That's a contradiction in itself. They must be talking about that smaller mountain from the poster. Mr. Imus, I was wondering, what can I do ya for? The inner sanctum lies at a high elevation where clouds and fog can obscure the view. Yes. Are you sure you were able to see what happened from the mountaintop next to it? Good point. His Majesty raises an excellent question. Well, Mr. Emus? On the day of the ride, there wasn't a cloud in the sky. I had a perfect view. If you don't believe me, check the weather forecast in the paper that day. Nick, don't we have the newspaper for that day? Wait, we do, right? It's not there. Yeah, let's take a look. Oh, now you like place it. It does say calm, clear skies, doesn't it? There around the inner sanctum will enjoy calm, clear skies today. The warmer temperature will make for excellent prayer weather. Be warned, however, that we'll see a cold front move in overnight. Alright, so that's the wind. See? Told you so. Well, it would appear the witness has offered testimony worth hearing. Mr. Emus, I too have a question for you. Yo, Annual, thank you for the 5-stream streak. I do appreciate it. Well, that's what I'm here for, right? Shoot! How was the accused holding the dagger? Was she holding it underhanded, its blade protruding from the bottom of her hand? Yep, I believe she was. It's called a reverse grip. Ah, I thought as much. Yo, Cobran, also thank you for the 5-stream streak. Really do appreciate it as well.
Hold it!
How can you see, like... hold it right there. What bearing does that have on this case? Cease your interruptions, you putrid-headed lawyer. Do you not see the significance in how the blade was held? Why don't you enlighten me, O enlightened one? Hey, I knew you were a fool. I can already picture you in your next life. Next life? Yes, after your soul writhes for centuries in the pits of hell, you shall be reborn as a witless sea urchin with barbs limited to your posterior.
An ILL backseats with. I am holding it. I am holding Habit sandwich and chips. It is rather yummy.
Habit sandwich. Are you having a rabbit sandwich or a halibut sandwich? Which is fish. Wabbit season. You shall live a short, inconsequential life only to be brutally devoured by a sea otter. Fishy sandwich, alright. That was a bit excessive. I simply asked what the dagger grip had to do with the case. Now pay attention. How the accused held the dagger is of vital importance. With such information, we can infer exactly what actions she took. You were saying that the victim was killed while he had his back to the accused. Is that correct? Yes. As such, the accused dagger grip tells us something very important. The accused approached the victim from behind, swung her arms around him. Oh, and plunged the dagger deep into his abdomen using a reverse grip. So, not. Why is the prosecutor so arrogant? All the prosecutors in this game are arrogant. Even in the past games. In this series, rather. What? Thus, Mr. Emus's testimony clears up any doubts that might remain. Ha ha ha. And it coincides with her benevolence's insights as well. This is a disaster. I thought I'd blown those insights out of the water, but now they're back to haunt me. Now then, the defense may cross-examine the witness. Alright, the question is, how can you see, like... That night, I was up at the top of Mount Pony Pony next to the inner sanctum. Alright, let's just press everything. Are you sure you're not mistaken, Mr. Emus? Was it really Mount Pony Pony that you climbed? Oh, I'm sure of it. It was really Pony Pony-ish mountain. Wow. What does that even mean? You know, now that I think about it, it has a mighty fine view. I hate crowds, so I climbed up there to pray in peace.
Holding!
If you hate crowds, why bother climbing to the top? Couldn't you have just as easily prayed at the bottom of Mount Pony Pony? Wrong, Bucko. This is a once a year epic event. I wanted to pray as close to the actual thing as possible. If you're so gung-ho about it, why didn't you go pray at the Plaza of Devotion? Like I said, I hate crowds. I wanted to pray in peace. Oh, Holy Mother, why do I only get the annoying ones? And my burning faith demanded that I climb up the mountain closest to the inner sanctum. Also, I know it's a no-no, but since there was no one around...
Holding!
It's a pretty sick change, I know. Since nobody was around, is there nobody who can corroborate your actions either? Hey ho, you're exactly right. In that case, Mr. Emos, let me ask you this. Was there a reason you didn't want to be seen? About that, he did it. If you get caught climbing the surrounding mountain on the day of the riot, you can get in big trouble. Ha 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 ha. That's it? Yeah, it's totally embarrassing getting yelled at when you're a grown-up. Har 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 har. Yeah, you're a real grown-up, alright. And since nobody was around, I lost all inhibition and... I used my binoculars to spy on the right at the inner sanctum.
Holding!
You had a pair of binoculars with you? That's pretty convenient. You weren't planning to spy on the right at all along, were you? Actually, I just happened to have him for bird watching. Bird watching, huh? I see. You're not going to keep pressing him on this. He's sketchy as heck, but I don't really have anything I can really sink my teeth into yet. Oh, okay then. Ha 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 ha. I love the great outdoors. That's just the kind of guy I am. A guy called Anonymous TBD. He's really starting to get on my nerves. As I looked through my binoculars, I couldn't believe that what was unfolding before me. That's when I saw the accused stab the high priest with a dagger.
Holding!
Did you really see what you say you did? Are you saying I'm lying about this? Well, I'm not. It's etched permanently in this old noggin. But I didn't do what you say I did. I didn't even get the chance to touch the dagger on the day of the riot. What I know of that, all I know is what I saw. I've never even seen it before in my life. What possible reason could I have to lie? I didn't expect there to be any witnesses anyway up there. But I don't remember doing that thing at all. I know, I have a feeling the witness is lying. There has to be an inconsistency somewhere in his testimony. I should take another look at the court record. Okay, what I'm just thinking is the difference between those two, he wouldn't have seen that because... Yeah, it's the other mountain is lower. And like there's a curtain around that if ever, right? Because... Yeah. Alright. I think I just have to present this, right?
Objection!
That's not it! What? Wait, no. No, I think I should present that here.
Objection!
Oh my god. Damn it. Your Majesty, I had my doubts about this bushy bearded witness, but now I know we can't trust him. What? You ain't just judging me solely on my bodacious beard, are ya? Not at all, Mr. Emus. It's much more than your sketchy appearance. It's your sketchy testimony. His testimony, you say? Yes, recall how the inner sanctum was that day. Specifically, that it was completely enclosed by the ritual curtain. Why, yes, I believe you're right. The curtain would have completely blocked the witness's view from Mount Poniponi. Therefore, he couldn't possibly have seen the murder happen. Hoo-ha! Mr. Emus, have you been knowingly making false statements to this court? You got me. The witness will lower his voice. I didn't actually see the accused herself. You didn't actually see the accused herself? What's that supposed to mean? Let me set the record straight, I beg ya. New testimony? The night of the murder, amended. I saw their shadowy silhouettes projected against the ritual curtain. The figures were created by the light of the full moon on that clear and still night. Really? She was just a shadow, but I could tell it was the accused reverse gripping the dagger. But shadows? That's what you saw? That's right. I could see what was going on by the shadows projected onto the ritual curtain. In the future, Mr. Emus, I would rather you offer up accurate testimony from the start. Forgive me, my main man, Mr. Magistry. Chalk it up to my fuzzy memory. Though he saw but shadows, it is still valuable testimony. Okay, if it's shadows, how could you say that it's the accused? Right? You have to be kidding me. What are we going to do now, Nick? All I can think of is look for inconsistencies between the actual right and what Mr. Emus says he saw. Now then, the defense may cross-examine the witness once more. The night of the murder, amended. I saw their shadowy silhouettes projected against the ritual curtain. So, what you saw were simply shadows? That's right. Those shadow figures on that bright white curtain, they showed through plain as day. I could see everything that happened. But Miss Faye and Abbott and me were at the top of a mountain late at night. The only light up there was coming from 4 small lanterns. How could the shadows have been projected that clearly onto the curtain? No wonder people harp on you lawyers. You're always so damn skeptical. Lanterns weren't the only sources of light, you know? The figures were created by the light of the full moon on that clear and still night. Wait, weather report. The warmer temperature. Is it actually a full moon? You claim to have seen shadowy figures that were projected onto the ritual curtain, but did you really see them, Mr. Emus? Of course I did. The bright moonlight projected them onto that curtain, clear as day. It is like watching a scene out a horror movie from my front row seat on Mount Poniponi. I guess the moon does shine a bit brighter when you're way up there. Maya, do you recall how bright the moon was that night? I remember there weren't any clouds and that the moon was definitely out. But I don't remember if it could cast any shadows. Okay, thanks. We can't deny that the moon was really bright. Which means it's possible that it was bright enough to cause shadows to appear. Ha 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 ha. I remember it just like it happened. She was just a shadow, but I could tell it was the accused reverse gripping that dagger.
Hold it!
Hang on. How do you know it was Miss Faye if all you saw were shadows? It was that little bun on top of her head. Didn't need to see her face, that distinctive bob's a dead giveaway. Never underestimate my keen sense of observation. Ha 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 ha. Now that's one funny haircut. It's not nice to make fun of a girl's hairstyle. I like my hair this way. Besides, you're one to talk, you Sasquatch. You're not into this wild manly look I'm sporting? Shows what you know, little girl. Ha 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 ha. Nick, isn't there some kind of a crime you can charge with him? I'm afraid it doesn't work that way. Now, he claims he only saw shadows. His testimony has sketchy written all over it. Then there must be an inconsistency in there somewhere. Yep. Was he really watching everything from Mount Pony Pony? If so, then I should see how his testimony lines up with the contradictions of the right. Conditions of the right. Okay, I think this is the statement that I have to like check, right? Okay, if the full moon was in this mountain, yeah, I think he's not viewing it from Mount Pony Pony, because if the full moon was from this part, the shadows should have been on the other side, not towards him. Because the moon should be on the other side, right? And it should be directly over the summit. So even if, like, let's say that that first image is incorrect, it should be on top. So it's not supposed to be casting a beam somewhere else, right?
Objection!
You saw silhouettes projected by the moonlight? Sorry, but that's just not possible. What do you mean? How is it not possible that it was totally possible? That's impossible. I think I'm going to need Illogicalese translation on that. Let's take a look at this rights guide, shall we, Mr. Emos? The rite is held when the moon is directly over the summit of Mount Pony Pony. Do. So if the moon was shining from the west, any shadows would have been cast eastward. But Mr. Emos was standing on the west of the inner sanctum on Mount Pony Pony. Oh, Holy Mother. That's right. Our witness here couldn't have seen any shadowy figures on that curtain. No! No way! Perhaps it was the sacred flames of the lanterns that cast the shadows he saw. I'm afraid not. I inspected them during my investigation, but the flames were too small to cast the crisp, distinct figures Mr. Emos claims to have seen. But I did see those silhouettes, really. But how could he, Nick? Maybe it was someplace where they were visible. Wait, don't tell me. Your Majesty, if Mr. Emos really did see those shadows, it brings a brand new fact to light. That would be... The brand new fact that comes to light if Mr. Emus really did those shadows is he didn't see the murder or he was somewhere else. He was probably somewhere else. He was probably in the other side of the mountain, right? He wasn't where he claimed to be at the time of the murder. Do. Oh, then where do you propose the witness was? Someplace where he could have seen the net shadow figures naturally. Wait, you mean... None of the mountains east of the Inner Sanctum are close enough for a good view. That leaves only one place he could have clearly seen the shadows from. And where might that be? This is where Mr. Emus was at the time of the murder. He was at the Inner Sanctum. Outside the curtain. Right? Yep. Mr. Emus was at the Inner Sanctum just outside the curtain on the east side. That's the only place from which he could have seen the shadowy figures. Hoo-ha! Really? Wow, I didn't even think of that. But wasn't the Inner Sanctum off limits to all but the victim and the accused? And the third party was there, you mean? I get the feeling that's a subject prosecutor Sadmadi would rather not touch right now. Ah, you mean... That's right, this witness was at the scene of the crime, which means he is the mysterious third party we saw during the divination seance. He could be the one who dressed as Lady Kira and killed the High Priest. Goog! What?
Objection.
No one but the two participants were allowed anywhere near the Inner Sanctum. And the only way up there are the stairs that start down at the Plaza of Devotion. So tell me, how do you propose the witness enter that sacred space? Oh, he must have, I haven't thought that far ahead. The Sanctum has sheer cliffs on three sides and a steep towering rock face on the other. No one could have made it there by climbing the faces of those cliffs. His Majesty speaks true. To say Mr. Emus was at such inaccessible location is but a bit to tarnish his credibility. Is that not right? Right. I wasn't at the Inner Sanctum. No sir, no how. At least I'm pretty sure I wasn't.
Hold it!
Then, what about those silhouettes you claim to have seen? I'm starting to think I've been imagining things. What? This is insane! I know. Wait, why are you not trusting the lawyer? Do not trust that witness. Peace, peace, I say. This is impossible, unless I can show how he got into the Inner Sanctum. It just looks like I'm trying to slander Mr. Emus. I believe in you, Nick. Rah-rah, sis Bumba, fight, fight, Phoenix right. Yay! Just look at the accused. Has she no shame? What's your problem, lady? Phoenix Wright is very trustworthy, I'll have you know. She's got some nerve for a criminal. I bet that lawyer poisoned her mind. Please, Maya, you're only making it worse. I appreciate the vote of confidence, but it's probably best to keep it to yourself for now. I would advise the defense to think carefully before making any more sudden outbursts. Yes, Your Majesty. If I wasn't a bad guy before, I definitely am now. Now, Mr. Emus, I would like to think back carefully before you testify next about where you were at that night. Oh, there's another testimony? I wasn't at the Inner Sanctum. I was never at the Inner Sanctum, I tell ya. That much I'm sure of, even with a fuzzy memory. Besides, it would have been impossible to get there in the first place. Boy, you lawyers sure are scary. Guess it might have been impossible for him to get to the Inner Sanctum like he claims, but okay. My only thing is this. That could have been a balloon or a kite, right? Maya hasn't been doing anything this trial, has she? Nope, she's just there cheering on Phoenix and getting heckled. Yeah, because this was seen at the east side of the sanctum. Now, will you desist in trying to frame this innocent witness? Yeah! Mr. Wright, is it not time to end these cross-examinations? A moment of desperation leads to 100 million years of torment. It means that for each moment a sinner spends struggling to deny their sins, 100 million years of torment are added to their time in hell. Corainism is the strictest religion ever. And just so you know, you've already accrued 200 million extra years. Plus the 5 they started with, that's 700 million years of torment. Sure, what's another 200 million, give or take? Well, it's a big deal to me. Can't keep saying that the witness was there at the inner sanctum. If I can't prove it, the problem is, how am I going to do that? Okay, how many statements does he have? He only has 4. I was never at the inner sanctum.
Hold it!
You sure you weren't there? All I'm sure is that you're deeply skeptical. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, are all lawyers always like this? Most certainly. They always try to pin crimes on innocent witnesses without any proof whatsoever. They are no better than bacteria or viruses. Yikes, you mean he's contagious? He's gonna give me lawyeritis? Okay, this is getting ridiculous. Phew, that was a close one. Well, you might get something by eating those lizards. He almost put me there at the scene of the crime when I wasn't even there. That much I'm sure of, even with a fuzzy memory.
Hold it!
You just said your memory was fuzzy. I sure did. What's the big deal? I'll tell you what. Your testimony isn't very credible if your memory of the events is fuzzy. Oh, no worries there. My memory may be fuzzy, but I'm very clear on one thing. Here we go again. If you ask me whether or not I remember what I did that night, I'd say I do. In short, you are confident that your testimony is true. Is that correct, Mr. Emos? Ha 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 ha. Exactly. Guess you don't get to be a judge for nothing. So in closing, I can clearly say that I was totally not there. What? Besides, it would have been possible to get there in the first place.
Hold it!
I wonder if it really was impossible for you to get to the inner sanctum. If you have something to say, just say it. Couldn't there have been another way to get there, a way that wouldn't attract attention? No, there isn't. Which means there is. Perhaps the defense would share its theory with us. I don't even have a wild guess, let alone a theory though. Time to reach into my bag of bluffs. To reach the inner sanctum without attracting any attention. This is the... Because if he climbed... Either of these 3 can be possible. But whatevs, let's save scum as always. How could people not see if you're falling from the sky? Right? But then again, people are like all bowed down in prayer, so they might not notice, right? YOLO. Maybe he fell from the sky. And like the balloon, like the parachute thing. The lawyer thinks he's a comedian now. I was wondering what crazy theory you would propose next. Well, defense, let's hear it. Mr. Emos could have parachute. Yup, the parachute. We already know the weather was clear and there was no one to speak of. Perfect weather for skydiving, I'd say. Now that you have been backed into a corner, your delusions grow ever more delusional. The prison. Oh my god, is he the escaped prisoner? Is he this guy? Senior member of an insurgent leadership and a former paratrooper. So he could have just like parachuted in. Oh my god. Like look, the inner sanctum is on a tiny ledge upon a sheer cliff over 2,000 meters tall, and that's the prison on top. Okay, the other question is how could you get up to that prison? Right? How could you deliver supplies there and things like that? One misstep and a skydiver would soon find themselves in the Twilight Realm. Yeah, I don't care how still the wind was, even I couldn't have made that jump. Wait, what's this building on top of the secret mountain? That is Royal Penitentiary. Oh, yep. Okay, he's the escaped prisoner. Oh, right. Princess Rafa mentioned there was a prison up there. How do you get your prisoners up there anyway? By helicopter, but only with authorization from the Minister of Justice. He's the only one who can approve flights that pass over the inner sanctum. Mountain Rage poster updated in the court record. Okay, is this thing updated now? Does this now include... Okay, this now includes the photo of the prison. Alright. Might I also add defense that no parachute or any other equipment necessary for skydiving have been found. Are you saying I flew down there by flapping my arms? I may be an incredible dude, but even I'm not capable of that. Well, please add that statement to your testimony, Mr. Emos. It's not like I can fly through the air either.
Hold it!
You wouldn't need to flap your arms if you had some gear. As I have already stated, nothing of the sort was found in or around the scene of the crime. Ha 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 ha. I'd sure like to see some of that so-called gear you're talking about. I know, but was there really nothing like that in the inner sanctum? What if there was something that could have been used as a parachute? I should give the evidence another look. Yup, that's the banners. You continue to claim that the witness was at the inner sanctum. Yet said claim shall remain but a claim without any supporting evidence, Mr. Wright. Yes, I realize that, Your Majesty. If I can't find any inconsistencies, guess I can always try to elicit some more testimony. Boy, you lawyers sure are scary. Now hold on, lawyers aren't scary. But you're saying I was at the inner sanctum when I wasn't. Anyone who'd try to frame an innocent man like that is scary in my book. Lawyers are scary. Lawyers are scary. It's a setup. It's definitely a setup. I'm not trying to set anyone up. I'm going to provide evidence and explain exactly how it was done. Excuse me, sorry. The gallery speaks true. They know the depth of a lawyer's sin and the poverty of his virtue. There may be some bad apples, but we're not all like that, you know. Don't worry, Nick. I'll still root for you, no matter how morally bankrupt you've become. Wow, thanks a lot, Maya. Thanks a bunch, Maya. Ha 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 ha. Mr. Emos wasn't at the inner sanctum, or more precisely, couldn't get there. I don't see a way out of this. Yeah, these kinds of debates only get worse if you argue them the wrong way. I'll have to pry some conclusive testimony out of him and then present some evidence. Like when you're trying to catch frogs from a pond. Once you've got a grip on one, you'd better hold on tight. Right. Something like that. Alright, so now I put like present the these.
Objection!
Yep. Mr. Emos is right. He couldn't have skydived down there without any gear. Well now, finally come around, have ya? Now you see that I couldn't have possibly been there at the Inner Sanctum. Right. If you didn't have any gear, that is. What on earth are you talking about? That overreaction is a dead giveaway that I'm on the right track. Take a look at this piece of evidence. Those are prayer flags, are they not? Yes, but they have been sewn together to create one big banner. A banner that could also function like a parachute. Polkongka! The people of Kurain are so used to seeing prayer flags that the police didn't even think twice about these flags during their investigation. No, this cannot be. The witness landed at the Inner Sanctum by using these prayer flags as a parachute. Is that not right, Mr. Emos? There's no way out. I'm surrounded. Mr. Emos? All this talk's jogged my memory. I guess I was there at the Inner Sanctum after all. Grr. Yep, he's a very unreliable witness. As I suspected, there were 3 people there that night. You did it, Nick. You weren't wrong after all. Thanks? Mr. Emos, you were the one disguised as Lady Kira that night, weren't you? What? No way, no how. It's like this, oh yeah. I was only there at the Inner Sanctum by accident. By accident? Exactly. And that thing's not a parachute, it's a homemade paraglider. A paraglider? Are you telling me you could fly using that patchwork mess of material? It may not look like much, but it's as sturdy as can be. I rode the wind like an eagle, going higher and higher from my earthly launching point. Alright. If we're gonna use the divination seance as a contradiction, the wind was at the west side. But then something happened that forced me to land at the Inner Sanctum. So you just happened to land there? You expect me to believe that? Now, please calm yourself, Mr. Wright. However, the fact that the witness was at the Inner Sanctum is a crucial testimony indeed, and it certainly warrants further explication. Therefore, let's continue with more testimony. Another testimony? Come on. Shouldn't you have a breakdown by now? Why I was at the Inner Sanctum. That evening, I was enjoying a trek through the night sky with my homemade paraglider. But just as Mount Poniponi was drawing near, something terrible happened. An accident forced me to make an emergency landing at the Inner Sanctum. As I landed, I banged my head, causing me to lose my memory. So you see, I ended up at the Inner Sanctum purely by accident. Really? Really? Mr. Emos, you failed to mention any of this during your pre-trial questioning. Can't be helped. I mean, I'm just remembering it now. Continue such slipshod testimony, and you will be cast into the hell of hangnails, where you shall have hangnails grown and ripped out for 800 million years. Ouch. Hoo-ha! I think I'll pass on that. Looks like that caught prosecutors had Mahdi off guard. This is my chance to rip his case to shreds. Alright, that evening I was enjoying a trek through the night sky with my homemade paraglider.
Hold it!
You were enjoying a trek through the night sky with your homemade paraglider? You didn't go to pray? A devout Kurainist like me can pray anywhere, even while flying through the sky. But I wouldn't recommend you try it. You're bound to end up dead. Ha 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 ha. Paraglider? I didn't see anything like that. That's cause of the ritual curtain. It blocked your view. You should have seen me, majestically soaring between the mountains. Really? What do you think, Nick? Don't ask me. Ha ha ha. I was really enjoying that flight. At first, anyway. Okay, you were coming from the east, not the west. Yeah, because as Mount Poniponi was drawing near, something terrible happened. Something terrible happened? Exactly. And when I say terrible, I mean terrible. What? Was there something unexpected near Mount Pony? What was it again? Wait, you don't remember? Let's just say it was terrible. An accident forced me to make an emergency landing at the inner sanctum.
Holding!
What exactly was this accident you had? Good question. Now what was it again? Wind? Oh yeah, it was the wind. Not just any wind, but a sudden gale force wind made me lose control. The wind was strong enough to make you lose control? Got that right. Okay then, please add that to your testimony. Gale force wind came out of nowhere, so I made an emergency landing at the sanctum. Alright, I think the weather report. We'll see a cold front move in overnight.
Holding!
Had the wind been blowing the whole time around the mountains? Yep, just the right amount of wind for paragliding. So that sudden gale force wind was a real shocker. I see, so a decent wind had been blowing until then. Right, wait, it says clear warm sky, so there shouldn't have been any wind. But the last wind of the cold front could have been possible. Paraglider's not much use without a decent wind. As I landed, I banged my head, causing me to lose my memory.
Holding!
Alright, after pressing all of these statements, I'll take a quick break since ads will start in around 3 minutes. Okay, where at the inner sanctum did you land? That's easy, where the paraglider end up. I guess that makes sense. So outside the ritual curtain on the side where the moonlight shadows were cast. But right as I landed, I hit my head on a rock. I lost both my consciousness and my memory. Ha 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 ha. Something seriously wrong with this guy. So you see, I ended up at the inner sanctum purely by accident. Amiyo Tsitzinos, what's up? Welcome on in. Hi from YouTube. How are you doing?
Holding!
Okay, you're lucky to be alive after an accident like that. Yeah, I'm just a lucky kind of guy. It's times like these that separate the men from the boys. Wow, I'd say you were incredibly lucky. Almost miraculously so. If you got something to say, just say it. Alright, Mr. Emos. It wasn't an accident, was it? You landed at the inner sanctum on purpose. What the? No, it was an accident, I'm telling you. You don't even have any proof, so stop making things up about me. His testimony is like a moving target. Okay, Nick. Time for some evidence, you know. Really grab him by the scruff of his neck. One thing at a time, Maya. First, I have to find an inconsistency. But where there is constantly changing testimony, there are bound to be discrepancies and other issues. Alright, this is the second run of the cross-examination. So, ads in Twitch will start in around a minute. So I will take a very quick break. While that's happening, yeah, the BRB clips will run. So again, if you are in Twitch and you hate ads, go ahead and get Turbo, or you can sub if you want. Otherwise, you can go to YouTube and view. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. So anyway, I will BRB. Then after 3 minutes or so, we'll continue the cross-examination. BRB. That was fake. Oh my god, that is so good. This is a something. This is definitely a something.
Dash backseats with. While you're watching this enthralling display of excellence, why not subscribe to youtube.com/@psycho103 for more of this exciting content on demand. It's 5-star entertainment guaranteed, and a hell of a good time, with videos edited by yours truly, Dash Garmar. One of the best decisions you will make today, so go on, subscribe today. That's youtube.com/psycho103. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe.
Thank you for the backseat, Dad. Welcome. It's the Japanese flag. Woo! I found a soft lock, Yuto. There's a soft lock. I found a soft lock. Sorry, Shade, I found a soft lock. Better at. Let's do the level. Okay, red pipe first. Well, there we go. And we have the balloon room. Woo! My god, this is the balloon room. Woo! Yep. Damn it. Okay, we found the balloon room. Now we can finish the level normally. Where does this go? Captain Toad, of course.
Time for adventure.
Quite the surprising place to run into someone, huh? This should be it, right? And we back. Alright, welcome back from ads, folks. Alright, let's continue. Okay, we've now pressed everything. So, okay. Came out of nowhere. So, we do our usual saves, come here. I think this is where I present the weather report, right? Yeah, because why was this added, right? Oh yeah, because he was saying earlier he was mentioning earlier the weather report, right? So he should have known that there was a cold front. Right? Because yeah, according to the weather report, we'll enjoy warm, clear skies, calm, clear skies. Warmer temperature will make for excellent prayer weather. Be warned, however, that we'll see a cold front move in overnight. Alright.
Objection!
Yep. We have saying in my country, Mr. Enos. From one lie sprouts another. Huh? What's that supposed to mean? It means someone caught lying will lie again in an attempt to conceal their first lie. In other words, this current testimony is just a blatant liar telling to cover your tracks. What did you just say? You claimed gale force winds caused you to lose control. But this newspaper has the weather report for the day of the murder. It says, the area around the inner sanctum will enjoy calm, clear skies today. Volkunka! Why, I do believe that it does say that. From one lie sprouts another. That makes sense, but... is it really a saying back home? I never heard of it. Yeah, I kind of made that one up. For real? Your Majesty, the witness's testimony contains another flaw. That one that's even more fatal to this case. More fatal, you say? The defense will explain himself at once. Mr. Emus claims he was flying up around the inner sanctum with his paraglider. But it would have been impossible to get all the way up there without any wind. Why, yes, I believe you're right. But we know the witness was at the inner sanctum, so... Mr. Emus, how did you get there? And from where? He's the missing prisoner. Without any wind, he couldn't have flown up there from the bottom of the mountain. By process of elimination, the only starting point that makes any sense is... Your Majesty, I believe I have the answer to your question. To reach the inner sanctum, Mr. Emus must have launched himself from here.
Take that!
Hoo-ha! Are you insane? That's where he came from? If he couldn't have come from below, the only other option is from above. So you see, Anonymous came down from Royal Penitentiary number 4. From there, he could have easily reached the inner sanctum by parachute. And that means he might have also killed the High Priest. What? Mr. Emus, were you the third party at the inner sanctum? And the one behind the warning to halt the right that the victim received? Was it you we saw in his final memory? Are you the rebel hunter Lady Kira? Hoo-ha! Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, sir, help me out of here. You did it. You finally left him speechless. Oh, come on, Mr. Prosecutor, man. Quiet, you fool. You should use this time to prepare yourself for what is to come. For a fate far worse than hangnail hell awaits you now. Well done, defense. I must concede this point to you. The witness did, in fact, descend into the inner sanctum from Royal Penitentiary number 4. Huh? He didn't even put up a fight this time. That's awfully generous of him. But if you are as perceptive as you seem, then surely you've already figured out the riddle. The riddle of Anonymous's true identity. Oh, his true identity? Yeah, he's the missing prisoner. Not sure I know quite yet, but I'll guess I'll have to answer with something. It would seem I am the only one still in the dark here. Would the defense care to enlighten me? Who is this man we've been calling Anonymous? The witness's true identity is... That's our ball. That's our ball. Senior member, yeah. And he's the one here in the newspaper. Right? Yeah. Is this really him? Only now do you realize the truth. Well, please do share with us your belated insight. What's wrong, Nick? Why are you holding back? Because this isn't going to be very helpful to our case. Really? Are you sure? Unfortunately, I've got no other choice. That scruffy beard and shaggy mane completely threw me off. But it's all becoming clear now. That nighttime BASE jump from the mountaintop prison, the precision landing at the inner sanctum using only a homemade parachute, only a paratrooper, or more precisely, a former paratrooper could have pulled that off. This witness is That's Our Ball, prison escapee and key member of Dirk's rebel group. What? Gah! The witness is an escaped prisoner? Precisely. The police have been scouring every corner of the city to no avail. Meanwhile, here he was under our noses the entire time. Hoo-ha! Didn't think anyone would see through my clever disguise. But the witness's charade is not all that has been shattered. Is it, defense? Boy, do I hate this guy. Please recall the defense's own words. Whoever sent it clearly meant to threaten the High Priest. The letter said, "Do not perform the rite," but the rite went on as scheduled. I believe that is why the High Priest was murdered. Who do you suppose sent that letter? A person with something to hide, the rebel hunter disguised as Lady Kira herself. He claimed that the real killer was the rebel hunter disguised as Lady Kira. Yeah, and what's your point? What of the witness's true identity? Only a paratrooper, or more precisely a former paratrooper, could have pulled that off. This witness is Dats Orbal, prison escapee, and key member of Dirk's rebel group. Oh no! He is a rebel and an escaped prisoner. He could not possibly have been Lady Kira, mortal enemy of the rebels. No! Now, perhaps the witness will enlighten us to the truth. After all, he has yet to refute any of this. Hoo-ha! You got me. I'm the razor-sharp fangs of the Defiant Dragons. It's morphin' time! That's our ball. When did you get your memory back? Oh, around the time you guys were talking about there being no wind. But you gotta give him credit for making up all that testimony off the top of my head. Are you prepared to tell us the truth now? Well, it's true I parachuted down to the inner sanctum, but I banged my head on impact and ended up unconscious outside the ritual curtain. In short, all my eyewitness testimony was a big fat lie. A big fat lie? Oh, and by the way, long time no see, Yati. Wait, they know each other? Your Majesty. This filthy rebel belongs in a jail cell. Oh yes, of course. Bailiff, seize him at once. Seems you really have forgotten the will of the dragon, huh, Yati? But I haven't, and no dogs of the Garan regime are gonna lay a finger on me. Alley-oop! Oh, he ran away, wow. Deploy all available resources. I want all units placed on high alert. Wow, so all that testimony and cross-examination was nothing because he said that it was all a lie. The escaped prisoner escaped again. The police force has been placed on high alert. He will be caught before long. An escaped prisoner who's escaped the law again after giving a ton of false testimony. Talk about a troublemaker. He really pulled a number on all of us. What was the point of all that anyway? Yeah, what was the point? Well, I can't help but feel that entire episode was an enormous waste of time. Your Majesty. Perhaps it was not as great of a waste as you might believe. What makes you say that, Prosecutor Sadmadi? That's our ball dropped something as he made his escape from these halls. That scrap of paper looks awfully familiar. These appear to be direct orders from Dirk. From Dirk, the rebel leader? Oh, but we only have a small corner of it. Wait, I remember now. Okay, I think that makes sense. Because I think that, yeah, I think this, yeah. If you put that over there, then that's the thing. The scrap of paper that's our ball dropped is a part of this.
Take that!
And this is... I found it at the scene of the crime. It appears to be a copy of the order that Mr. Arbal dropped. If we put the two together, we should be able to read what the order says. Oh my, and just what does it say, Mr. Wright? I don't understand Karainese. I can't read Karainese. Ah, Prosecutor Sadmadi, if you please. The ignorant lawyer has not bothered to learn our language. Very well then. I do not understand. Well, what does it say? Using the lamplights as a landmark, he was to parachute down to the inner sanctum. Upon the rite's completion, he was to don Lady Kira's robes and make his escape. What? That is how he was to escape from prison? So, if I were to assume that Mr. Arbol was the one who killed the High Priest, then maybe it was because Abbott and me tried to thwart his escape plan? Oh, foul lawyer. I'm afraid that is simply ludicrous. Huh? But I didn't say anything. Did he just read my mind? I know how your putrid mind works. Unfortunately for you, however, now that the rebel escape plans has been revealed, it is clear that Datsurbal is not the High Priest's killer. How can you be so sure? If only you would use that putrid brain of yours every once in a while. Datsurbal's plan could not have worked without the help of a certain individual. What do you mean? I'm speaking of Abbott and me, of course. Had Datsurbal simply donned Lady Kira's robes and made his escape alone, he would have been far too conspicuous, but were he by the High Priest's side, the faithful citizens spraying in the plaza would have had no cause to suspect anything. It is therefore unthinkable that Datsurbal was the High Priest's killer. Ah! So then, you're saying the High Priest was oh, I cannot bear to say it. I am afraid it is so. He numbered among the rebels who threaten our kingdom. How could this be? High Priest? A rebel? Let it go and move on. Accept the truth. It is the only way. And that goes double for you, Defense. Cease your futile battle now. And why should I? Because I will now put the final nail in the coffin of the accused. Now that we have eliminated Datsurbal from our list of suspects, there is only one person that still remains, the accused, Maya Fey. Hold it right there. Aren't you forgetting something important? Something important? Please do explain, Defense. We have to save. The arrow, the murder weapon, the third party. It's the murder weapon. We don't have the murder weapon yet. I'm wrong? What about the murder weapon? We haven't found it yet. What does it matter if it has been found or not? The fact remains that the victim was killed with it by the accused. Also fail to see how that would be important, Mr. Wright. This, oh my god. Wait, I still have one. No, Your Majesty. There is still something important that must be brought to light. I'm talking about the true identity of the Lady Kira we saw in the Seance vision. Okay, it's the third party. If that wasn't Datsurbal, then who was it? The matter has already been resolved. It has? What's he talking about? It is as I have maintained from the start. There was no third party in the Seance mission. But there was another Lady Kira there besides Maya Fey. We all saw her. What the? I can't do my finger pointing. Oh wow, he like numbed his arm. Ah! It is time to let it go and move on. Your fate has already been sealed, much like your arm. This hardly seems fair. It is quite simple once you consider where the victim and the accused were at the time. If the victim was near the spring with his back to the accused, what would he see ahead? Besides the water itself, there is nothing but the Warbad statue. Precisely. The Lady Kira we saw in the seance is the Warbad statue draped in her secret robes. No way! Wait, what? How could that have been? The accused wanted the false Lady Kira to appear in the seance vision. Before she came from behind and stabbed the victim with a dagger in a reverse grip. But why would the accused want to do something like create a false Lady Kira?
Coburn 64 backseats with. That's a penalty to the prosecutor, no using the grape skittles to inflict damage on arms.
Yup. The whip is better. The whip is better. To show it to the victim as he was being slain. And what reason would the accused have to fool the victim she was about to kill? It was not the victim she was trying to fool. It was this very court itself. What? Come again? Suspicion would not fall on the accused if it looked as if another Lady Kira was there. And the defense was foolish enough to fall for it and claim it was a third party in disguise. Are you saying... I am. It was all a cleverly wicked scheme perpetrated by the accused. A scheme in which she sought to use the seance vision to mislead us. Wow, what an accusation. This can't be happening. What a face you are making, defense. I am surprised you are taking this so hard. After all, did I not clearly state a while back that you were chasing after naught but a deluded fantasy? You're telling me he knew this is how it would turn out all the way back then, and that he was just waiting for the most effective moment to spring it on me? Do you understand now? I have had you dancing in the palm of my hand this entire time. It can't be. This is an outrage. You took a royal priestess's sacred divination seance and used it to commit this most foul and despicable murder. No, I did nothing of the sort. Maya. Nick, it's not true. I didn't. Cease this ugly display. Your faith is sealed now that the facts have been exposed. Your Majesty, the time has come to convict this criminal who only seeks to taint the Sacred Hall. Indeed, it seems this trial is over. Does the defense wish to offer up yet another counter-argument or something? The accused is not the killer. And here's why. Now what did I do? I've got nothing. No! It would appear that the defense has run out of arguments to make. I thought for sure that the rebel was the killer. The only person with a possible motive, the one dressed as Lady Kira, has vanished. And I've got nothing to use against Prosecutor Sadmadi's argument. Damn it, I can't lose now, not like this. Come on, call Mia. Call Mia Maya. Very well, I shall now render my verdict. Wait! Please wait, I'm begging you. It is time to let it go and move on. This trial need not be drawn out any longer. The defense has failed to counter the charge filed by the prosecution. In accordance with the law, I invoke the Defense Culpability Act against the defense. Now then, this court finds the accused Maya Fey and the defense, Phoenix Wright, guilty! Oh no. Dejected Phoenix. Bad ending. Wait. Your Majesty, please forgive the interruption, but... What is the meaning of this? A body has been found in the Plaza of Devotion, Your Majesty. What's this? A body? What happened now? And we found this sticking out of the victim. That's the murder weapon. Why, that's Lady Kira's Warband dagger. Peace. Well, it would seem the dagger that was once lost has now been found. I have one more thing to report, Prosecutor Sadmadi. Yes? This dagger. It bears the oh my god, no. Bears the fingerprints of Maya Fey on it. What? But why would Maya's prints be on it? I cannot believe it yet. It must be true. Is something the matter, Prosecutor Sadmadi? Sorry. This trial has run its course and the accused guilt has been firmly established. However, it would seem the defense was right about one thing. I was? You claimed that the murder at the Inner Sanctum had been carried out by the rebel hunter masquerading as Lady Kira. I did say something to that effect, but what of it? Prosecutor Sadmadi, are you suggesting what I think you are? I believe the oh my god, sorry. I believe the true identity of the rebel hunter who has been masquerading as Lady Kira is none other than the accused Miss Maya Fey. What? Me? What? I realize how shocking this must seem. Looking back, however, I now realize there was much that pointed to this fact. The rebel hunting Lady Kira was first sighted about 2 years ago, and the accused first came to our kingdom 2 years ago as well. Why, the timing matches perfectly. But there's more. That warning letter was found in the High Priest's bedroom 3 days before the riot. Despite his house being locked up tight that night, how does that prove anything? It is difficult to believe an intruder could have found a way to enter such a secure house. However, the accused was known to come and go freely there. Mainly to prepare for the purification rite. It's really kind even to a foreigner like me. He even invited me over to his house whenever I was between training sessions. The accused could have easily left the house unlocked for herself without anyone noticing. Only someone capable of entering the priest's home could have delivered it. If we assume that the accused was Lady Kira, that more than established her motive for killing the High Priest. Yes, the victim was secretly an insurgent bent on helping Datsur Bal escape after all. Precisely, that made him a target of Lady Kira's wrath. And after killing the High Priest, she then unleashed her divine justice on another rebel. So it seems the scope of this case has expanded. We now have 2 murders perpetrated by Miss Maya Fey masquerading as Lady Kira. So is it not over yet? If Miss Fey is indeed a serial killer, it would affect the severity of her punishment. In light of this, I believe the second murder must be investigated before we can proceed. As you wish, Your Majesty. Maya Fey, I hereby charge you with this second murder. May your defiled soul feel the weight of your sins. A new murder charge on top of a guilty verdict. Seems the defense will live to see one more day. Talk about hanging on by a thread. Come tomorrow, a far more terrible punishment awaits you. I hereby suspend these proceedings so that the second murder may be investigated. Until the conclusion of this new investigation, this court is adjourned. Wow. Do we need a round of painkillers? I think so. To be continued. Alright. Okay. I think we'll end here tonight. Alright. Okay, we'll end here tonight. Alright, there's a second murder. But who got murdered? Holy shoot. Alright, this case is confusing me. Anyway, we'll end here tonight. Anyway, everyone, thank you very much for joining and really do appreciate it. So again, yeah, if you're not following, go ahead and follow. Yeah, I do Ace Attorney streams and Mario streams on the weekends. And also, please don't forget to check socials. Yep, new video will be up tomorrow on YouTube. Go check out the YouTube page if you're on YouTube. Hi, YouTube. I also simulcast there now, so if you're not watching on Twitch, you can watch on YouTube as well. So yeah. Alright. Yeah, thanks for stream. Hey, no worries. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll continue this. So let's just find someone to raid tonight. Let me just check who is on. Do. Okay, I can't see anyone in English who's playing Ace Attorney. Who else is on? Damn it. You know what? Let's just read Wily. Wait, is the direct now? Is the direct in a few hours? Or is it tomorrow? I think so. Wait, Nintendo Direct. If he's doing it tomorrow, it means that it's gonna be tonight. Feb 21, 6 a.m. Pacific. So that's gonna be my 11 or my 12. I think so. That's gonna be my 11. So yeah, in 30 minutes. All right. But I still have to review the video, so I won't be watching it live anyway. I mean, I won't be reacting to it live. I'll leave that to you, Dash. That's your forte. But I'll pretend to be shocked tomorrow when I watch it with you. But anyway, yeah, let's just raid Wily. So, all right. Yeah, let's just raid Wily. Anyway, everyone, thank you very. This channel has only follower. What? Really? Is Wily on follower mode only? I don't see it. Anyway, yeah, let's raid Wily. Anyway, everyone, thank you very much. Have a great rest of your day, rest of your night, and I will see you all next time. Bye.